Welcome back to my channel. I'm John with Wood Ninja, and in this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to build an American Indian War Club. Now, this is one that I built before, and it was very popular. And my friend back in New York, Donnie, he sent me the wood, and I promised him if he send me the wood, I'll build it for you. I'll send one back for you. So these are actual trees that grew in the ground like this. These are the roots. Pull that out, clean those up, and then we make our war club. In fact, the Penobscot Indians were very famous for this. And they would draw faces on here, just like this. And I'm going to do close-ups and everything. And they draw faces on here and different things to make them scary. And yes, this will do a lot of damage. So this is the one I did a few years ago. Very popular. Then my friend I gave one to my friend Donnie. Donnie wants to give one to his friend, his neighbor across the street. So I said, you send me the wood, I'll make it. So I made this for him. As you can see, we got my dogs shaking everything. Big boy, can you guys take it over? Thank you. So I did a little epoxy fill in here, put some square nails in here, put this in here so you can hold it so this wraps around so you can get a good grip on there. All that stuff. So I'm going to do some close-ups so you can see a lot closer what this looks like. I didn't draw anything on the face. I thought that it was enough of the epoxy, and I thought that would work. So I'm going to do some close-ups so you can see, and then you can get into the video. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. This is the one I did a few years ago. And you can see how sharp I made those. And you can see like I put like an eyeball there and drew some crazy stuff on there. You know, and that's kind of what they did. They made animal stuff on there. I came down, I painted this and did a little insert here. So if I ever want to put something on it. So we'll just do a little front to back here. That's where you grab it. Drew some crazy things on there. Okay. And those things are sharp. Very sharp. You know, put a little like an eyeball there. Kind of looks like a giraffe or some type of animal. You know, there's my dog Floki. Okay. And that's my girl Skatey. Okay, and then this is the one I did for my friend Donnie and his neighbor. You can see I put these guys on there. Same wood, the same type of stuff. And then I'm going to lay this down so we can get a better look at her. You can see that blue really shines through there. I wanted to stabilize that wood. Hold on a second, we got off. There we go. Okay, I wanted to stabilize that wood. So, and you can see I put my little mark in there right at the base right there. Put my little, barely see it, but it's there. We got our little blue epoxy, and that not only stabilized it, but looks cool. And it went well with the black and the lighter tones. And then I went over this with 2000 grit sandpaper. So this is super, super smooth. Really, really nice, okay? And this piece here, goes probably all the way to here. It's never coming out unless you want it to come out. Okay. There she goes all the way down. Super smooth, super slick. They look really, really cool. Obviously, they're for decoration. We're not doing anything crazy. Right, girl dog? Thank you, girlie. Say hi, girl doggy. Hey there. I got this piece of wood from a friend of mine, Donnie, in New York. He wants me to make him a little war club, a Penobscot Indian war club. Now it's a little, it's getting a little punky, it's getting a little rotten. We're gonna have to clean it up and fix it. So this episode, we're gonna build a war club for my man Donnie. Stay tuned. All right. So I just got this piece of wood from my friend Donnie over there in New York. He apparently left this out for a few years, so it got a little dried out, a little rotten. So
He's calling this type of wood ironwood. I know there's a proper name for it. I really don't know what it is. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to take off all the fungus, all the dead stuff in there. Just clean it up, open up all the pores, because and all the dirt because he obviously didn't clean it because he's awesome. But anyways, I'm just taking this wire wheel, this brush, and just go ahead and just tearing into it. So what I'm going to do eventually, once I get all the dirt and the really rotten wood out of here, I'm going to soak it in penetrating epoxy, which will stiffen it all up. It will soak into the wood itself and really harden it. And there it is, 2-part epoxy. Some of my favorite stuff on the planet is this penetrating epoxy. Now, you got probably 5-10 minutes of work time with this, and it will get so hot it will melt that plastic container which you see me working out of. And it really will. It will start smoking. I mean, it gets so hot. Anyways, here I am giving it a good bath. We guess soaking it into that. So there's like a hollow area in there. So I just soak that sucker in there and just keep feeding it in there. And it keeps soaking in, which is exactly what I want. So once that gets in there, give it, a day or so. And it's ready to go with some, I thought I'd put some, it's not like a blue. It's kind of, I think it's called, what is that? Kind of like a, kind of like if you're in the Caribbean blue. I guess that's what that's called. So I just keep pouring that sucker in there and dumping some out. But at some point I get it fairly level. And I use a penetrating epoxy instead of like a slow cure epoxy. I'm using a penetrating epoxy with like I said, I think it's Caribbean blue or whatever that is. Anyways, that will soak it in there. I think it looks good. I like the color, the contrast. So that blue looks good against that dark, and it looks good against the lighter colors too. So I'll let that set up. And you see it looks like little marks in there, like little hurricanes or something. That's from the heat. So when the epoxy heats up, that's what it looks like. It will start heating up. Now onto the grinding. So then I take it over to my belt sander, and I'll put some work in on the sucker, and this will just grind down. So because I want to be able to put my hand on it, it's a little thick, so I want to get it so that I can get my hand on it, so it's an actual workable deal. And I believe I've already cut the base of this off because I poured it long and left it long, and then I cut it. So you see I cut the base of that. So it was a little too long. So now it's a workable war club. Now this war club is based off of American Indian war clubs that were made, hundreds of years ago, or even thousands of years ago. And especially where I grew up in the Northeast, there was a particular tribe called the Penobscot tribe. And they would do this. They'd take an actual tree, just like this, pull it out of the ground, use the root base as the head of the weapon, and it was a fantastic weapon. It was unbelievably great. Now, typically, what they would do is they would draw or paint faces on it. It's just, really scary stuff like animal faces and all sorts of crazy stuff. This particular one, I didn't do that because I felt that the epoxy was enough to kind of give it, enough, Shazam, I guess. So now I've decided, some of the roots kind of rotted off. So how we're going to do is we need some square nails. So we want to, wherever the roots were too rotten, we're going to go ahead and mix up some 5-minute epoxy and put some square nails in the sucker, make it even more scarier. So this is what I did, and there we go. I pound those suckers in there, hit it with a bunch of epoxy, then I let it set up for a while. Yeah, you gotta get that epoxy, and that stuff really works well. So now we're gonna release this video on a Friday. Last night, I got a call from Donnie. He actually received the War Club last night, so he's super happy. So again, just want to let you know that he did receive it, and it coincides with the video coming out. So, and I also wanted to do, so I did a bent one here. You see, I kind of bent that sucker, so it kind of peels back. So that's kind of cool. So that's all I did is I just hogged it out with a drill. Just hog it out, and then just put epoxy in that sucker, 5-minute epoxy. And that, if you mix it well, it really is about 5. I think sometimes 10 minutes, but usually for me, if I want it extremely hard, usually it's overnight, and then that's it, and it's all she wrote. So I think I put 4 or maybe 5 nails in here, and I just keep digging it out and keep putting more epoxy in there, more nails, and it just looks better with all the ones I put in there. I like it. Very, very dark looking, kind of. You know, it's October. What are you gonna do? It's Halloween. So yeah, that epoxy just goes, I mean, it sets up pretty fast. So I'll put it in there, and I got all these done in, I don't know, maybe an hour. I got them all done, maybe half an hour. Then I came over and I painted everything in there so that it kind of blends it all in there, makes it look right, hides a lot of imperfections in that. So I just using some oil paint and just touching it up, making sure everything's black. I think it worked out pretty well. And there's my wife there looking at it with her Bucky shirt, and she leaves. And I just continue painting. Got the eye on the prize right there. So there you go. Keep on painting. And so once I get done painting, I'm gonna seal everything. So it's just not, raw paint. I always seal it. I think I hit this with some Osmo, and obviously I'm gonna definitely hit it with some lacquer. But I think I hit it with some Osmo. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out here in a few minutes. I like to paint it all in there. The black, it really gives it a darker feel to it, and it hides all those any of the imperfections that you might see. So then, the only place I could think of putting it is on the hilt there. So it took me a little while to get it, but I got my little stamp on there. Yeah, see, it took me a little bit. I don't know why. It was just not heating up proper. There we go. Now that's good. That's my little tree of life. Then we're going to bury this sucker in there. And I felt that this was the best way to do it. I just put it in there, wound it in there with a screwdriver, and then that sucker goes, there you go. See, look how far in it goes. It's not coming out. I didn't put any epoxy or glue or anything on that. I just wound that sucker in there tight. It ain't coming out. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, I was like, oh my God, I got to keep going. That's it. Just keep it. There we go. Get it in there. So now that's tight. Now that will take on like a piece of leather. See, that's the finished product right there. All done. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Oh, that blue really stands out, huh? So if you guys have any other ideas or thoughts on if I can make a different type of war club, or if I should add other things to it, but overall this is how she came out. And I want to tell you, I used a 2000 sand grit on the handle. It's soft, like baby soft. Anyways, I really appreciate everybody watching my videos. If you could like and subscribe and share them, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay.